Hello, friends. It's April, and welcome to Asking for a Friend, April edition. So this month is Autism Awareness Month. It's also the month that holds Earth Day. Whew. So, two topics of big importance to myself personally, and of big importance to our field in a way that I'm going to address an interconnected convergence on conceptual use of evaluation and the concept of necessary but insufficient use of evaluation for learning and awareness. So our celebrated colleague, Kim Vanderwoord, has been urging us in evaluation to move beyond awareness with respect to truth and reconciliation. And the dotted line between that admonition and the call to action is something that I'm inviting us to reflect on. And I would like to use the two examples of Earth Day and awareness about the destruction of the conditions for life, and also about Autism Month, April, and some of the debate around, from First Voice, from hashtag Actually Autistic, about how insufficient and potentially damaging a focus on awareness can be. So if we look at the curves on all bad things, basically, at a global level with respect to carbon emissions, with respect to biodiversity loss, et cetera, related to the last 50 years since the first Earth Day, and I might be a little off, might be 51. We have not come close to flattening that curve. It's an exponential increase. So awareness, incremental awareness and spreading of awareness, and now with social media and everything, everybody was Earth Day, basically. Everybody that you know knew that it was Earth Day. What did we do? Or more importantly, what did we not do? Perhaps to protect the conditions for life on Earth Day. We knew it was Earth Day. What did we do about it? What's in our agency to do about it? So similarly, awareness about autism spectrum used to be called a disorder. I don't call it a disorder. But about neurodiversity generally, and about the extra wiring that certain people have that influences abilities that are unusual, as well as perhaps less wiring in other areas that make other things harder. So understanding more about autism spectrum profiles and experience is not necessarily helping people who are on the spectrum to navigate and to experience less hardship. It's not necessarily creating more inclusive environments. So if you look at Netflix and other platforms where there's entertainment featuring folks who are sort of creating new stereotypes about what people on the spectrum are like, then whether it's fiction or whether it's documentary, you may have been forming over the last not 50 years, it's more recent than that, 10, 15 years, some ideas about autism. And I won't go into the IMSD reclassification of Asperger's as high functioning autism and the debates about that. That's a topic for another time if you want to talk about it. But what I will say is that I would just invite you to notice that, for example, there's a show called, I think, Love on the Spectrum, and it's about people with autism dating, or autistic people dating, depending on the person or the perspective. There's a difference in preference of language. what I'd like to draw attention to is that the awareness and the education that is that in social interaction that you'll see happening in that show, and it's very typical for how kids in workplaces and so on behave when they are aware of autism, is that they're teaching neuroatypical people to communicate with neurotypical people, and there's not a lot of education on how to create more conducive environments and how to communicate well with people who are, for example, very literal, like me, and who do not understand if you're using sarcasm, for example, or if you're using a lot of nonverbal communication. So, so awareness sometimes about a difference or about a phenomenon does not translate into a sense of responsibility and a sense of, oh my gosh, this is not just about me feeling like I need to help the other. This is about me seeing how the way that I operate and the impact that my life has is creating these difficulties, whether it's for the earth or whether for people who have a different set of needs than perhaps the majority or the dominant group for whom systems are set up. So in all of that, what I'm inviting us to reflect on today is how it's possible that awareness can be increasing without conditions improving, or without the phenomenon about which people are becoming aware actually experiencing any kind of relief. And so there's one possibility that it's just simply necessary but insufficient. There's another possibility that certain ways that awareness are handled can actually be counterproductive. I mean, all of this, Earth Day shirts and Earth Day plastic, whatever, greenwashing is actually having a massive footprint in of itself. And like I mentioned before, with autism awareness, it can lead to stereotypes, tropes, and also the attempt to fix the autistic person. So I'll leave you with that, and I'm going to create a blog to go along with this post, invite you to reflect, invite more questions, and just as we close out April, what did we do? What did we do individually and collectively to improve how we are responding to responsibility about how we are creating better Earth days in the future, and also creating conditions in which neurodiverse people, autistic people in particular, in April is our focus, actually have environments where our strengths can be expressed and where our non-talents can be accommodated. Thank you.